What's going on, everyone? It's Eman here from the C List of Villains and Eman's full of geek world of geek. And today I'm talking to you guys about my new comic book day haul. Whoa, I'm fumbling the words all over right now. My comic book day haul for today, August 24th, 2022. Now, before we get started, do me a favor, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that way you guys get notified anytime I drop any one of these new videos. So happy new comic book day to everyone out there. I'm hoping that you got all the books that you were hoping to get today. I know it seems like it's been a light week, for most of us in the community. I was watching some other new comic book day haul videos from earlier today. I was on a show earlier with Chris, the comic vet. It seemed like a lot of us had a really small stack. My stack this week is funny. It's really small because this is even 2 weeks worth of comics. So it's been a light couple of weeks, has it? Oh, let me get a little bit of music going here for us. But yeah, it's been real chill, real easy going, real rude. Yo, what's going on, brother? Thanks for coming by. I really appreciate you coming by and hanging out with me. It's gonna be a quick little video. We're not gonna do too much. There's a lot going on today. I don't want to take up too much time. But yeah, it just seems like it's been a really, really like light week for a lot of us. Even if for those people who collect or for those collectors that collect the big two, there's been a lot of DC stuff going around, but not so heavy on the Marvel stuff. Even the indies have been kind of light. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just one of those weeks where like, oh snap, like things don't come out. One thing I do have to say is, you guys know I'm a huge fan of the Miranda Brothers and We Live. There was a little mix-up at my comic book shop this week, and unfortunately, I did not pick it up. But it's something I'm going to pick up for sure. Hopefully by tomorrow. I definitely want to read, the final arc. In what I think is a really great run right here with season 2 of We Live: Age of the Palladians. Last issue for me was a tear jerker. I was absolutely shocked at what I saw at the very end of the Age of Palladians number 4, and I'm hoping that that same weight carries into number 5. For me, it's a very emotional book. I don't know why. I just fell in love with the characters. So let's see what happens. I'm probably gonna do a comic book review, a new segment coming up hopefully this weekend. So we'll see how things like that goes. But today I'm going to go ahead and show you what I did pick up and not talk too much about what I didn't pick up. So let's go ahead and get things started, okay? First up, Wind. This is Wind, Throne in the Sky. This is the continuation from the previous series that James Tynion and Michael Dialinus. I always mess his name up. I feel bad. But they did a fantastic job with the first series, and I can't wait to see what goes into this one right here. I absolutely love Wind and his band of friends, and I'm glad that he's growing up to be the young man that he wants to be. And he looks like he's getting everything that he wants, but his journey is not over with, and there's still a lot to do. So let's see what James Tynion has in store for us with this one. So I ended up picking up cover A. I also ended up getting the one per store, so the Virgin, the unlockable. So I'm not really too sure. If anyone can let me know, what does unlockable mean? It just seems like it's just a one per store. And I don't understand why they chose that name for this, but this is the unlockable right here. So it's the cover A Virgin. And you're not going to see this one. It's really dark, but this is super saucy. I got the foil variant of this one right here. Now I'm really trying my best to stay away from a lot of the honestly, this isn't doing it any justice. This is actually a really cool cover. Unfortunately, it's really dark. It's really dark. It's one of those things that you want to keep up like in the light. And I'm trying to stay away from variant covers, but I just couldn't stay away from these other two right here. Again, it's one of my favorite series, so picking up variants for that one right there, it didn't hurt me too much. I was happy. So what else did I get? Oh, Department of Truth, another James Tynion. But this is a James Tynion heavy week right here. We got James Tynion the 4th and Martin Simmons is Department of Truth number 20. Man, we're already up to number 20. It honestly just feels like just a few months ago, number 1 came out. It just blew everyone's mind, bringing us back to the X-Files day. So we'll see. We'll continue on the story of Cole Turner and see what Hawk's doing, see what everyone's going, because this has been just one of the craziest reads out there. excuse me, burp. One of the craziest reads out there. It really does feel like James Tynion does his homework. I really truly believe this is one of the best. Well, I shouldn't say best, but one of the most well-written comics out there because it really has a lot of turns in it. It's really been crazy. So we'll continue on with Cole's conspiracy-filled journey with that, and I can't wait to see what goes on. Grimm number 3. I'm kind of worried because I was going through my comics earlier and I saw Grimm number 1 and 2, and I'm like, where's number 3? Okay, this is number 4. I'm pretty sure I have number 3 somewhere upstairs. I know I have to have number 3 somewhere upstairs. But this is Grimm number 4. This is the Jenny Frison cover. I believe this is cover B. I'm only collecting the Jenny Frison covers for Grimm, just because I do want to read them, but I also want to collect the Jenny Frison ones. So I've kind of made a conscious decision. I've told I've asked. I shouldn't say told because I don't own, or they don't own. I don't own them. But I asked my comic book shop, hey, do me a favor for Grimm, and specifically for Grimm, only Jenny Frison covers, and if it changes over and there's no more Frison, I told them just switch back over to cover A, and they were really cool about it. So, but I like the book. This is a really cool read right here. So, I'm not 100% sure if I read number 3. I'm really second guessing that one right there. I'm super lost, but we'll see what happens. Buddy Mask number 4. Really trippy story. The last issue, I didn't read number 3. I'm really behind on some of my reading, but number 2, you're seeing the conflict between the main protagonist and B, and how they had a relationship but they don't, and then you see the fellow run into Buddy Mask, and intimacy happens with it. It's really weird and really trippy. So I don't know where it's going. So I need to read number 3 and then finish up with number 4. I think number 5 or number 6 is going to be at the end of this arc right here, or the end of this series right here. So we're not too far away from the end. It's still like a really trippy read with Bunny Mask. But I don't know how trippy it is. I might just finish up the series off and probably hold off on the 3rd, unless I hear it's a really good series after that. But this time around, it's been okay. It's been okay. Gwenverse number 5. I don't know if this is the end or if number 6 is the end. You know what? I'm going to check right now. But the Gwenverse series has been cute. Now take that for whatever it is. You try not to read too much into it. But I think the Gwenverse series has been cute. Yeah, it looks like this is the last one. It looks like this is the final one in this arc right here. I like how fun it is, but here's the thing: it's very fun and very cutesy. And this is something that I would actually have my teenage daughter read, because I feel like that's the crowd that they were going for with this. It wasn't like the high impact, like high story or action pack like Ghost Spider and the ones before, but this one just seems really fun. And I do say it with that face because it's fun, but it's all right. I only start. I'm honestly finishing off the series. This is only 5 issues. This is the final one, and because of David Nakayama is doing all of the covers, and all the covers are actually pretty dope. But I don't want to keep collecting a series if I don't like the read and just for the covers. Yes, the covers are dope, but if I'm not getting any value out of the read, I don't even know why. I don't even know why. I think I may have just answered the reason why I was collecting it. It was really just for the covers. I actually have the David Nakayama Big Time Collectibles Virgin Variant up there slabbed. So don't listen to me. I'm all over the place. just stick by me. Stick by me. What's going on, TJ? Right in time for Bunny Mask. See, look at that. TJ's reading Bunny Mask, and it looks like he might be digging it right there. Yeah, man, I got to read number 3. That was number 4. I'm a little behind on my read. I'm a little behind on my reads. Please forgive me, guys. Because I am. There's been a lot going on these last couple of weeks. Two more books I want to share. Judgment Day. TJ, we talked about Eternals and that run and how much I really enjoyed it. This right here I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to weave in and out. I didn't read number 2. I read number 1 and it was okay. And it seems like these books are coming out really, really fast, like back to back. There's a whole crossover event happening with Avengers, X-Men, and Eternals. Let's see what goes on with that. Written by Kieran Gillen, who's done a fantastic job, in my opinion, with Eternals, who did one of my favorite books in Gideon Falls. So I have high hopes for this crossover series. For me, I'm not going to collect any of the side stories. I've learned from the past. I'm just going to stick with the main book. And if I read online, like, oh, hey, if you're reading this, you really do need to pick this book up because it does add depth to the overall story. If I do read a review that says something like that, I will follow up. I will be a follower and say, okay, well, that person said read it and I'll read it. But other than that, I'm only going to stick with the main issues because I just don't have that money to spend anymore. I don't want to go off spending my money on books that I probably just won't care about. So, but let's see how this one is. Again, I didn't read number 2, but we'll go and see what happens with number 3. I'm behind as well. The last few weeks have been hectic. See, TJ knows. My friend, Flash by Night Comics. He understands the pain sometimes that we go through with these, with reading these books right here, you know. Final book that I want to share with you guys right here. This is Detective Comics number 120, 163, 120, not 163. What? Final book right here, Detective Comics number 1063. This is the second issue with Rom V writing it. Now, the first issue, I was like, oh my goodness, it's gonna be Rom V writing it, and I felt like it was all right. I didn't get it, so I can't really say it was all right. But I'm gonna trust Rom V's process, and yes, because there is a history of Rom V and the things that I've read from him, I'm going to trust his process on this run. Maybe the first 2 or 3 issues may not be as good as we want, but I have a feeling that number 4 and number 5 will tie them in beautifully with like a nice little bow where it makes all sense, where you want to go back and read them. I'm going to trust his process. And I really hope that it pays off in the end. So we'll see what happens with this. The art's pretty cool. The covers are, I like the new like cover design on it. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot, you know. That's it, you guys. Like I said, last 2 weeks worth of comics, and really that's it. Now, again, I did not pick up We Live. I will be picking it up sometime this week. Hopefully, I'll be able to pick it up tomorrow and read it. I'm excited for it. I'm hearing that it hits hard, and I don't want to cry. I'm not ready to let this go yet, but we'll see what happens. Again, I'm a big fan of We Live, and you know, it's coming. I think I'm not ready. Well, that's it for my new comic book day haul video, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks to people out in the chat. Now, remember, I co-host the C-List Villains podcast. We go live every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on our channel, the C-List Villains podcast. And keep an eye out on my channel. I will be doing some more Eman show segments coming up here in the future. I have another mail call coming up. I have a few issues, a few boxes on the way that I want to open up and share with you guys. And I think that's it. I'm going to try to do a review. I have to add a review show to this channel, so I'm probably going to do a review show real soon. And I'm not sure which book. I'm probably going to talk about either a book that I just really hated, didn't understand, or absolutely loved. Maybe I'll call it that hate, love, or not understand review. We'll see what happens, man. Cool picks, man. Hey, thanks, real rude. I really appreciate it, brother. Yeah, what's cool is that I'll be able to. I can start reading these tonight and actually finish this week's haul probably tonight. You know, and maybe I'll go to the gym afterwards. We'll see what happens, you guys. You know, I don't know what's gonna happen after that. All right, you guys. Well, that's it for this little haul video. Thanks for hanging out. Until the next issue. Deuces.
Thanks again for listening to another episode of the C-List Villains podcast, your cultivators of the comic culture. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and email us at clistvillains@gmail.com. You can also leave us a voicemail or text us at 209-975-7597. Be sure to join Luke Week's Facebook group, Rare Keys and First Appearance Comics. And you can follow us on our 2 Instagram accounts, C-List Villains and C-List Villains Podcast. Lastly, follow the villains on their separate IG accounts, at Luke Weeks, at C-List Villainous Red, at C-List Eman, and I am at AJ the Comic Collector. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you all next episode.